Huh? Alele Wodi. Which shop baby the mommy na Skype yo? Skype Nation. You know for talk for you right? We gains. No respect for the youth. We gains. We don't see all kinds suffer. Man they die proper, no coffer. All man gains. You know for talk for you right? We gains. No respect for the youth. We gains. The country na scam. We been think say you go better where you can, but we don't tire with this gamma. We gains. When you talk for you right, then joke by you talk. Who's them beggars it's on Babin shop? This new direction try to lead us in the wrong way. So hard time, so I guess we for stop. Yeah, let's come to reality. Man, they're not safe, no security. We need for stop now police brutality. For make we see the lights, we get for stand for we rights. Or else we go suffer till insanity. When the mommy talk this, man, then gon' cock this. Now so we go left off like we got keep up justice. No respect for the style. Guy of scope chasing bad. Sufferation and me country na anthem. Yo, Fritz on dark past graveyard, head star, Guma Valley cut 5, up Kissy Brook with a vet. Seal now na two, but them bike man know they play. Make Salon better, we really need for call God. Where we talk for we right, the one canvas free. Well, if na shit with a speech, the shit getting gassy, culture with a panaste, with the board and campus we. Yeah. If Bokuya na skendu na bab shenge lima. So like that why they can't pass Nima. The country no ba safe with they sleep, we are open, wait see apple with they afraid. God they dreamer. As we talk for we write and begin shoes like a auntie. Makeni and Sombobo na victim. For the killing alone sack, but them bag not show on a big screen. I saw it on this skill like say not to be big thing. Now the country discard, not to so this me start. Well now Adebayo and Mikos just a top with chat. We need freedom and peace, justice at least. So nasty, talent from justice and peace. No more job for the youth, no food for the poor. The witch gun and state house, we lost this the law. Politics over everything, nothing no they grow. Green industry, no level, let's have me no go blow. Killing humanity, education, health, no facilities. That press release on cool pull, no clarity. They take with a comedian, they cut for we economy. These are the facts. If you want to be a friend of me, how you go feel for treat you comping kind? Stab your brother. Now in bag, but this is pass fucking pine. So we dey beg for freedom, justice for Kimbo, Sabra need for go and the rest of mankind. Too much drama na me country make the youth and scammer. Una make the country for who tire with Moku grammar. No for talk for you right, we gains. No respect for the youth, we gains. We don't see all kinds suffer. Man they die proper, no coffer. All man gains. You know for talk for you right, we gains. No respect for the youth, we gains. The country na scam, we been think say you go better where you can, but we don't tire with this scammer, we gains. You know for talk for you right, we gains. No respect for the youth, we gains. We don't see all kinds suffer. Man they die proper, no coffer. All man gains. You know for talk for you right, we gains. No respect for the youth, we gains. The country na scam, we been think say you go better where you can, but we don't tire with this scammer, we gains.
Ayo was a production. A real 10 years.
We are don't come back today for come talk about things where they happen. Now we on sweet yards alone. Now we on. Whoa, we let for do them bad things them. We dey feel a most alone. Now we on. Whoa, we are. And if we hurt you, we sorry. We no mean bad, we just want for make we had go before. If we hurt you, we sorry. We no mean bad, we just want for make we had go before. Fambul Kushe, I think the voice look okay today past yesterday. We say tell God thank you for that. Anyway, I don't know really waiting the happen. The minute we sleep and wake, we must get something where the Yagbawi. You remember where Dr. Dennis Bright, they get one careless word we even tell we. He said this country, all time, not just explanation. It go reach 10 with people who tire with the explanation. Well, now they, we don't reach show. Well, not to me talk, now Dr. Dennis Bright, now here just quote so, in me, Dr. Dennis Bright's voice. Well, as we sleep and wake, remember the 23rd, I hope I get it right. The 23rd of last month, when I be November, one Jiggy Jagger been there inside the House of Parliament. Well, we see Usai, the clerk of Parliament, been pull one longer statement. A point finger for opposition member of Parliament then. Amongst them, now the Honorable AKK, where now Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara, and then you get other one them, where as well, not the knock chest, now the House of Parliament. Well, how legal all of the action has to be. We get one journalist where actually we don't look into them things they are. It go inside and proper one and say we need to understand what in the action of the Speaker of Parliament mean. Because we see who said the Speaker of Parliament come and say, according to law, it don't suspend indefinitely. When me say indefinitely, me say it don't suspend them. Time no day for let the suspension done. The suspension can done tomorrow. It not can done tomorrow. It all depends on how they move with this particular thing. Well, as we the jack we in and out of the well of parliament, we get one journalist when don't they look out things that they happen inside it. Inside one in peace way, right? He say, this thing this is so. If the committee were responsible, the privileged committee were responsible for looking inside this case, he say if they waste time, it means say, it go mean say, then parliamentarians will lost their seats in the parliament. But now the plan this or no? Now good punishment or no? Well, it left to how we can look at this thing. Remember, you say will get chance for you rub your mouth inside this particular issue. This is a program. We are on YouTube and on Facebook. My name is Sembe the Freedom Fighter. Okay, we get a lot of things we actually don't come up, but remember say we not just this Tidoya because we want to talk politics. Or we not just this Tidoya for let we just run with mouth and things the way they happen. People can always ask we, but we are. Una just the talk. Waiting una don't do. Well, we can say we no need for explain. Waiting we don't do. We just the do until we do for the one day we really need them. Well, Doffa say no we are. He say una need for the explain. Waiting una don't do. Then we say how? He say no worry. Every month, people them through this platform, they support Doffa. When I do Tony Foundation for the poor, for the aged, something like that. I wonder why I forget them. He say even with family members them, they don't even send them December things them for the old people them inside the country through Doffa. Well, he say he not just want for keep am to himself. Let it come out and tell thank you to the one they all we don't battle with. Before we come to the main issue of the day, let me go back and watch. Waiting, that's some of the things there where we family members.
Okay, we had this na cheers them where we receive from Mr. Ba, where then at the UK, courtesy of we had 9 cents for we then cheers there so to Doffa. Of course, when I don't see him, I want to say thank you so much to Mr. Ba. Mr. Ba now want to way since he watched Doffa what they talk now we had. He always the support, he not only give it and cheers there so, but he also give it the sum of 2 million leons towards we elders party what they make on the 20th of December this year. So I want to say thank you so much to Mr. Ba for this support, for where you give it and cheers there. So one of the cheers I'm gonna forget to Mama Finda. Where if I see Mama Finda I named the day. Mama Finda now one of the people that will be build a house for na grafting community. So Mama Finda na get this 1 2 seat chair where Mr. Ba sent for we. Thank you so much, we had family. We appreciate Una, and also thank you so much to Mr. Ba for this big support where you get to Doffa for we old people.
Not to that no more. Remember, Mami Finda, in them come up here and clear one Now that woman, when we all this sit down and say, let we build this house for her now. Because he was done well. Let me see how we can able for put roof over them. And then we all be put lily team. We give to Doffa, boku money, and then they build the house. And then small thing left, where they send to other people left for help them again per house business. Una they do very well. Well, they not just receive them thing they are. As Doffa, you know, interestingly, Doffa, they don't make with shame at all. They don't make with shame. As Doffa don't receive, then couple, then item they are. They rush quick one and say, let them give to the people that we're supposed to forget them. And then doing. Run and say, let it give them people here. Listen how it be able for hand over to the one that we get them.
My name is Bari, the founder and the CEO of the Withdrawn organization for the aged. Today, I'm at Tilapia on behalf of Mr. Alhaji Mohammed Ba, within the UK, courtesy of the program, where they send chairs for me. You get the chairs that they send. One is specifically sold for women to Manafina, and the other one where they set up the discussion after we took the chairs. Today we're there for handover one of the 3 sets chairs. So one of the elderly, we said we go put in the panel because we believe say when somebody gives something for elderly, we therefore give back to them. So today, on behalf of Mr. Ba, within the UK, we get a program where they can contribute to. They call a program the Regionalism program. So by the number of that program, we get the series to say old people in the country. So we sell this chair. So they hand over this chair to you on behalf of Mr. Ba. So when they see that this chair, they go to pray for a legal country for more doors, legal country for touch other people in heart, so that they say will be do good to this organization. So we are going to give more to honor the elderly. So I want to say something to Mr. Ba and say thank you so much.
I say thanks to Mr. Ba for this chair where we donate. We are very forgiving. We are happy. May God provide for us and may God open the window and may God protect and guide us. May God get more and may we help the company. God bless.
I think beaucoup things don't happen. And he said not to that no more. Plenty people don't they give him couple. Well, let me see. I think I don't left something in the end. He said Lulu from Wiyad just don't send $150. Lulu, thank you for when you send this money to Dofa. For Seka Wiyad, we appreciate you so much. The family really impressed. And other person now, Mr. Dumbuya, he said he give 1 bag rice and he give 1 5-gallon oil. Mr. Dumbuya, Mohammed Dumbuya, thank you very much. God bless you now so much. We as well get other people in. For Mayama within UK and Aisatu Kaba, they say they want there. Promise, forgive, then support. Well, thank you. Sometimes mistake, but I will take me tape for watch and back 551 and come with a comprehensive list for you tomorrow. Do ya? Not feel bad though. We call all man. We do for get away. For let me tell you thank you because una really the show say any side we say hey let me go and support. Una really the support. Even when we don't relax, una still the continue for support. And I want to tell thank you again to Maureen Lovejoy. Interestingly, I like to talk about this particular woman. It's not a salon person, no. See wow, it's not a salon person at all. But it like salon people then. Anything when we had say that the support span, it run in the day before. Now America know. Hey, now this online, now we all see, you don't see the program them and they say, elect the way how they do this thing. I begin to wonder, you say, they understand. Anyway, this woman, every month, every term, it battle this particular organization. Because elect the way how they do things. So one for tell the family members them, plenty, thank you. Okay. So now time for let we watch quick one and go inside the main issue of the day. When na for let we rub mots pan the bigger picture where they for discuss today. Well, today, una go remember day before yesterday. I think like yesterday or so. The old age. Anyway, inside the Korea's program, yesterday, one young journalist be appearing at the show. Well, when I can talk something, some people they believe, some people they feel say no, not so true. Before we come to the main thing of the day, we talk say this journalist what we can talk about so today, or what we can rub more pan today, or what we can ask for the rub more inside the issue then today. It's a again wealth of experience. When he say it analyze things, but parliament, you not going to lock him out at all. They go begin to ask, this na honorable or a journalist. But I can tell them say, na journalist. Now just that, when person they do assignment well, in homework, they do research, no sign on the way they ground. Well, this net, follow we can talk about the suspension of Honorable AKK, Honorable Mara, and the other one, when are 3 opposition member of parliament. This young man don't join me inside the program this night. In name, now Melvin, Tejan, Mansaray, the resident reporter or parliamentary reporter na the House of Parliament. I think na a very big pleasure again for welcome you for the second time or for the second term inside the most heavyweight. I don't ever talk this, but I need for talk them today. When you come back program according to people them, the next program, this one gets weight. So I want to welcome you inside we are proper. Inside we can call things them by slogan. Welcome, Melvin.
Thank you. Very thank you for getting me and Pablo Kusha and Cap.
All right. So inside this program, let me can clear to you. It's different from the Congress. Inside this, we can call the president caretaker. The reason why, because we want to let them know say then they handle the position for we the people. So then they take care of them for we. We don't mean any disrespect. We will call we country we yard. You say, why you call our we yard? Because we want everybody for take responsibility of things that will happen inside the country. You don't say you yard, you backyard, or in any part of your yard. You don't go allow somebody come on at it, can put rubbish there. You get for defend your yard. So that is why we call the country we yard. Not by anything, but by way how every one of the words them get meaning. So if you get for the area, they call some of their words, then they let you not feel doubt, and let just follow attack, and then we move. Welcome one more time.
Many thank you for when you bring me inside we yard.
Okay. We see, first of all, we don't talk about this. The clerk, they put a longer statement where he point finger at member of parliament them from the opposition, say, according to CCTV camera, that they cause the problem inside parliament. Well, maybe they talk, they make mistake by one name. When Honorable Abdul Karim Kamara, instead of that, they use one other surname. But today I ask questions, say, now the person this is say yes. So now the Speaker of Parliament don't come out and he actually don't give a ruling on waiting at the action them where they will take against the member of Parliament here. Not a secret. The ruling be don't come out. Plenty people be don't hear about them. Amongst them here, na suspension. Indefinitely. And same way so, them privileges them. Some of the benefits they will forget. They don't withdraw. But first of all, let's begin this particular side before we go inside. What does this mean? When they talk about the privileges, them, what exactly they mean?
Well, when you talk about parliamentary privileges, you talk about the Constitution of Sierra Leone. And if you go now, the Constitution of Sierra Leone from section 97, 98, and 99, since on the they clearly spell out which are the privileges them when members of parliament get. One of them privileges them data that anything we then say now parliament, you cannot challenge it or take it any side outside of parliament for prosecution. Another privilege we then get now that if they go parliament or then they come out parliament, nobody now for bring charges up against them among a long list of privileges. Apparently, we see as a result of the fights we may be on the day we already don't cite. Some of them privileges then they now don't be removed, arguably without, well, with some contention, if I will state, as a result of waiting the clerk the reports to the speaker and the decision where the speaker will bring out as a ruling. So in short, privileges are the rights and the responsibilities them we accorded to the parliamentarians them as per law.
Okay, so now let me go to the ruling proper. When you sit down as a journalist and listen to the ruling, how you welcome this particular thing? Because you get different feelings about this particular thing. According to your piece, where you already don't write and don't share with me, you get different views, about this particular thing. Let's start with what you mean. What you mean? How you see this thing?
Well, I'm one of a mixed bag of reaction. Like every other ruling, it gets merits and demerits, and it takes somebody for follow suit or get the institutional memory or experience for dissect them. And yes, you're right. The piece entitled A Snapshot Dissection of Mr. Speaker's ruling on the 23rd of November 2022 commotion in the Chamber of Parliament. Well, I describe as a landmark precedent. Landmark precedent for the fact that this ruling explains certain aspects of the Constitution may not cater for certain activities or action. For example, the Constitution of Sierra Leone talks about contempt of Parliament, but apparently not clearly define whether a member of Parliament can be found wanting of contempt on just ordinary citizens or ordinary witnesses, as it's been called in Parliament. So that is ambiguous, and for sake of that, we see the Speaker come out clearly and say the Constitution gets a gap in that aspect, and therefore a need for look carefully coming in the coming years. Apparently, in terms of what are the merits and demerits, well, it will be a great merit that for once the Constitution is being respected and the standing orders, particularly Section 97, we talk about the immunities of Parliament, we exempt them from prosecution. Although the law clearly stated that now waiting members of Parliament and talking about Parliament they get immunity for, but the law not talk what about if they do something in Parliament, in this case of fighting. So there is a gap there, and Mr. Speaker, apparently I would suspect based on a legal experience and having served in different capacities and having been one of the co-authors of the 1991 Constitution, they agree say no matter we not for go to police, or rather should be investigated by the Privileges Committee of Parliament. I think say this is one of the biggest merits in this ruling. But in terms of the demerits one of them will be the scope of the investigation. As it stands, this is a limited scope investigation that is only limited to members of the APC main opposition. And for family within the diaspora and elsewhere, we don't say one person that affects himself. But let 2 or 3 people affect, and you come out say 1 or 2 of them, in this case 3 of them, they are the greatest responsibility. That in itself, it's a technical knockout for the ruling. In terms of merits again, one of the merits would be the fact that this matter is being committed to the Committee of Privileges. Apparently, if you go through the piece, this is one committee where I not get much trust in, but the fact that the committees, maybe when you're supposed to investigate Honorable Sawa, people remember say Honorable Sawa will make a statement where he will say the leadership of Parliament fully hand the enemy back when it comes to an investigation. We get for doing it within the Minister of Information talk about whether SALCAP was making profits or not. In contrast, the President within our Parliament and talk say SALCAP they make profits, but the Minister was saying otherwise. So that was picked up, and Honorable Sawadi therefore take a very stringent stand, really embarrassed the Minister, and apparently the leadership will have to prevail on him for take a soft stand, really make him resign as the chairman of the Committee on Transparency and Accountability.
Okay, look at this thing. Inside you same piece where you try to talk about, yeah? You say, then ask them for let them pay equally this 380,000 leos, yeah? But in fact, this not even show say, they don't even tell them say they're guilty, even before then they appear before the Committee on Privileges, yeah? And that again, it not look sound well at all, because they don't even pronounce them guilty without they not even try it. And according to you, therefore be innocent until they find them guilty.
Of course, the presumption of innocence, we know to lawyer there, but we don't cover a lot of the law. Now that person before you go start trial, they presume say innocence until they prove you guilty. And how they prove you guilty? Now with the witnesses and with the evidence, we collate the already used. And in this case, it seems as if the Speaker of Parliament ruling is working from answer to some, already concluding that these people are guilty, already committing them to the Privileges Committee, but also fining them. And in fact, if you read carefully the ruling, it was trying to avoid what in law is called double jeopardy. And in this case, I think a perfect example, we think the ruling again and double jeopardy might have been caused there, because what if the Privileges Committee not found them guilty? What if they found them guilty? What will be the recommendation? Will they recommend for fresh sanctions, or will they recommend upholding or upending of the speaker's ruling? All of these are ambiguous areas where if you find out that say that committee needs some assistance in terms of legal researchers, in terms of experts in parliamentary affairs, because I've seen how they were embarrassed by Honorable Tawa, and in terms of his stance where we take. And most of the people in this committee, unfortunately, are old people. Most of them are paramount members of parliament, and whether they are in touch with the times, it could be another question.
And something was very important now, the issue of the member of parliament here, say if they fail for look inside this case here quick within 30 sitting, parliamentary sittings, that it simply means say then they lose their seat. Why?
Why? Because the constitution and standing orders make a must that members of parliament not for absent for 30 sittings. And in this case, if this committee, let me not forget, the speaker ruled that these members of parliament should be withdrawn from all parliamentary activities, including their privileges, meaning they could not attend, or they cannot attend parliamentary sittings until after the outcome of the investigation. So now, if this committee can delay or they investigate and not present a report, until after 30 plenary sitting, as per law, technically those members of parliament will be losing their seats. And whether that's the political end game, well, we cannot tell, but there is a precedent with the removal of 9 or 10 opposition MPs just to equal the political composition of parliament. Family for members say, as it stands, the main opposition APC get 59 members, the SLPP get 58, the C4C gets 8, NGC gets 4, we get 3 independent members of parliament and 14 paramount chiefs, making it 146. So, if you come and remove 3 more by technical knockout, by way of if this committee not work with alacrity, then of course that fear of the government always wanting a majority that was not given to them by the electorate will always become up.
So we if at all, because according to what you don't say, even Honorable Tawabe don't complain about the committee. In other words, the way how they operate on certain things, them they can direct foot based on their own interest.
They only know the direct foot. They need to get the competence, because for God's sake, if you are dragging somebody to the privileged committee like Honorable Laimara, he's a 2-term serving MP. He has been deputy chairman of the PAC. He understands the constitution and standing orders to his fingertips. And if you can't put him before, with all due respect to them, old father and way perhaps not study well, it's going to be embarrassing. I watched Honorable Ibrahim Benkago almost walking out of the privileges committee as a result of being challenged by Honorable Tawa and employees in terms of knowing the laws and how to apply them. So my fear there is they are competent. Are they competent enough? I think that's a matter of them proving my assertion right or wrong, but I don't think so at all. Looking at these sets of things, whether they're handled with unresolved status.
So let's look at the Honorable Ibrahim Benkago. Honorable Ibrahim Benkago in our waiting at the committee. Very sorry about that.
Also an old head, I mean for land, he has been misused.
Okay. All right. Sorry. I think we missed that out. We missed that. So the question is, who that's not Honorable Ibrahim Benkago na the committee?
Now a top-ranking member na the committee of privileges.
Okay.
And as it stands now, he is sick and he is not being too strong to carry out his parliamentary work.
Okay. So who that's the chair of this particular committee?
A paramount chief member of parliament from one of the districts. I know we'll get some up, I will check minutes shortly. But now one old paramount chief, and the composition gets several other from old paramount chief, and including Honorable Mohamed Bangura as perhaps the only youngest person among them.
Well, then what for say all knowledge can even for stand up, but in the case of this, as the reference you make. In the case of Honorable Ibrahim Tawa, where been done the challenge the Honorable member there, so then they read actually But they're not able to read plenty compared to the young blood them. We're going for sit down and watch one old book for the one old length for go challenge them on different reference points them. So also you feel say this go? Is it before because sometimes they can say before picking can fit me, now one thing ain't go happen. So before they molest them and challenge them on certain things, that you feel say then we get for delay in case they are.
Well, I'm not saying we will delay. My fear is will they have the administrative wherewithal? Because this is a committee where for them sit safe, no problem. And I remember say outside of the case of Honorable Devao, Honorable Tawa, and 2 other cases, this is a committee we go for go make peace, they end up forfeit. In the case of an allegation of a member of parliament where a constituent be slapped. Imagine, you go for go make peace, then you end up for cause war. So the temperament of members of this committee always going to be questioned again. So for me, I think they need for co-ops, people who's like, yes, you get very good members of parliament from both the government and opposition benches, but they need the assistance of firebrands, because if not, I'm afraid, especially if they take this sitting to the public, definitely I foresee say, well, some man get for vex walk off the committee, or some man get for go for somebody say if a big power, or some man get for go say, well, this is what I fit as you hide they don't say, I have no too much faith in this health privileges committee because their work they already don't speak.
So we see things then get for really they happen as we go inside this particular case. Especially this particular case is very different from most of the cases the way they don't handle the privilege committee. Because this one, even the speaker they find it very difficult for able to know how if a worker and if one for tread cautiously fall, how I would say, fall wanting at the end of the day. So this one now they can't send them to a committee we don't ever handle such kind of case before. And then you always the question the how competent. You think say this case will get for commot go anywhere, or the willing of the speaker get for be final?
I think the duty of care rests on the opposition bench, because they understand say the life of the 3 members of parliament they are at stake. Not physical but the parliamentary life. Wherein if this committee is lackluster or sluggish, therefore no say their numbers might be reduced by technical knockout. So they have that duty to pile pressure on the business committee, on this committee, INSSF, for being able for force, arrange when for seats, out in the seats, whether in closed door or in open hearings, and afterward compile the report on time. So I think this duty, you cannot leave it entirely in the hands of the government bench, because of course they want to gerrymander around it, they want to manipulate it, because at the end of the day, if things are not done, they know it's not the penultimate outcome, which is 30 days. If you are not attending sitting, you are gone. So the opposition APC, they get big work, particularly now we see the leader not be there, and we don't know if he don't come yet. He go to ECOWAS Parliament, and whenever, in fact, let me just state, once we don't see it again, whenever the leader of the main opposition, not the Honorable Chairman of Madam Majuba, and the team can see the worst moment in terms of standoff, whether it's deliberate or not, that can be a question for another day. But I think they are in desperate need of leadership presence, because we are get Honorable Chairman of Madam Majuba Chelikuku, you not get the deputy leader Honorable Ivy Kago. You're only left with Honorable Hassan Sise, who I can describe as experienced, but very far left wing, and whose temperament is also going to be questionable by way of just the way I represent himself in terms of in rendition. So I think the opposition get the duty now for make sure that this committee is being put under serious pressure for due diligence and do on time.
Okay, so now we don't question several things. Now, other people will say the speaker in action is very timely, because at the same time, in as much as they take them strong action as well against the member of parliament here, but they don't before withdraw the case from the police and say, let the one away now the stranger, as they call them, let the police handle their own case. So that is a good thing, because it say no and 2 punishments for the member of parliament then.
Yeah, but again, there's a catch with regards to the stranger. On the reports of the clerk, it mentioned 1 stranger, when the driver of Honorable Kelly. But in the speaker's ruling, he's now talking about strangers. So that is self-defeating. If the clerk is saying that one person, and Mr. Speaker is saying it was not one by way of the use of word strangers, then who are these other strangers? And as it stands, we know who are the one them already will be convicted before it's right. So for me, who are the other strangers can be, a Pandora's box for even the privilege committee for Zoom wide or Zoom in or Zoom in on. Because as it stands again, the administration of parliament is capitalizing on footages from the CCTV camera. Will that be entirely dependable when we know what can be done to videos? And of course, we really look for see some of those videos and whether they are the actual videos we already, some of whom we don't see from watching from the galleries. So, of course, certainly, yeah, there's an issue there with regards to who are going to be the other strangers. But absolutely, it's right that the strangers are not covered by parliamentary immunity. So, the unfortunate thing about the strangers that as per law, the stranger puts the landlord the landlord owes. But we don't see this owes. The landlord now they say the way and key for go to the owes, not for go there. And if you go there self, you for go there on invitation. And if you find out and if you read through the lines of my publication, states that this ruling, particularly on strangers, has got constitutional implications. Section 5 talks about citizens' rights and sovereignty belonging to the people, and there's another section in section 90 or so that talks about members of parliament must not seek to alienate themselves from the people. So we are restricting visitation or strangers or visitors to parliament to invitation. Then the question begs, who will be inviting them, for what reasons, and so on and so forth. Which I think is the
and something that we draw when the speaker talk about, when you self comment on that the issue of video of the phones then where you go to the well or where you go to the gallery for go watch any sitting, for care go your phones, because what we see from that particular day and we get that they very clear, and the videos that will be coming from the gallery, I think it be very much smart than even the parliamentary the own media team, yeah. Because we will watch them through Facebook. At one point, they cut the whole thing. When we say they not be one for let we see what they happen. But the people that will be there inside the video and make we see exactly what happened. So now, if even their own Facebook page they cut them, and then they talk about CCTV camera, like you say, you could question whether we could see the original video or not, or whether the video we will see will compare to the video we already don't see from the gallery from people then. So now speaker they say then people have for left for couch phone. What does this mean? If we don't listen this now like violation of human rights, freedom of speech as well, or freedom of expression as well.
I think so too, but you raise a brilliant point, let's touch on quickly. That is the role of the free press in parliament. We are somewhere and I say to people, if the parliament, the attempt for cut a live stream as a result of fight, what is this sending? It is sending a message that at no point in time we journalists will depend on the sources of parliament as dependable sources, because they can cut media for them not see waiting than once we foresee. This is kind of censorship, and the worry in Ghana that they are not only practicing censorship, but they are attempting to censor the Fifth Estate, although not the Fourth Estate, let me state, because the speaker said this ruling after I seek personal clarification from her and ask her for do the announcement at the well that journalists are not allowed any way for do so. But the Fifth Estate is the most powerful estate, and then they vote. And now you say somebody not for go there with mobile phone. Firstly, you guys sign for keep people a mobile phone, not now one. But it's the right of expression. And it's the right of speech, not an enshrined right constitutionally. So I think that was an overreach in the ruling, and I expect civil society organizations and also media organization. Yes, the media is not affected, but we're talking about rights to free speech and rights to expression. In fact, in another case, in another aspect of the ruling, the rights of movement of the drivers are also being guarded, and that could be a violation also. So if we can touch on that issue, I think it should be reviewed, and I hope the Privileges Committee then will use their wisdom for look at some of these issues and come back and say, Mr. Speaker, this can be an overreach.
now we see, for example, the time where them be want for do this PR system. At one point, them be want for drag everybody where they call stranger outside. At one point, you see the leader of government business say, no, these na people where they invite. But at the same time, then people here where they invite when a citizen, we all be hearing the slogan where them they shout at that particular time. So this go back to the question of how they go invite people for go now the well of parliament. Is it based on politics or they really see who that come and ask for invitation?
Well, that now one litmus test whether how this issuance of invitation will be handled. I will tell you from experience, SNP always want their supporters and they for the up the gallery. APC always want for their supporters and they up the gallery. Why? Because they don't allow this bad precedent. When members of parliament in the debate, the members them up the gallery in Shimu. The last time, Sherry Coco have been a victim of violent invectives from the lower gallery. The other day, the Honorable Tawa have been a victim. So the politicians necessarily are the cause of the problem. They are the cause of the problem. They want to politicize, they will, and I'm sure they will. They will politicize the issuance of the invitation. Of course, the one way in normal times, people will not get that interest for going to parliament. Let's talk now that more bureaucracies are going to be introduced. It's just to weaken people, it will dampen people's interest in the business of parliament. And mind you, Sierra Leone Parliament has been ranked third in the Open Parliament Index conducted for the first time in West Africa. So this will seriously hamper that drive towards making parliament open for the people. Mind you, parliament should be about the people. And if the people are now being restricted and limited to choices of whether you can come or not come, I think it's, well, the standing order provide for that and give the speaker the power. I don't think that is the spirit of the constitution at all. Because if sovereignty belongs to the people must be in charge.
So, all of them things there, so we see the speaker tell we say the tension outside for the election, not going to encourage at all for let it come inside the House of Parliament. But not to secret say the tension even worse inside the House of Parliament. Because, like for example, the budget debate will go on. Except when journalists then capture one particular headline, we talk about painted budget. All the other one in are singing. So now we don't find out say in the House of Parliament, right now as we talk so, that just one side debate today. So how this not will be politicized, or how the tension within a do not will come inside. If this kind of way out, in fact, in my opinion, I take responsibility for this. I think say. The speaker at some point can try to put things in place, but in some point they misguide and they follow attack of especially the leader of government business. I can see most of the time this they happen. In your observation, how you see the parliament generally, you think say the politics outside they infiltrate or it is so much smell inside the parliament right now. I put in that create what they.
Well, definitely, and as a result of several factors, one, you get an executive. You are not a general and minister of justice, where just they come overnight with legislations without due consultation. So, one problem, we blame the president. We also like say only a member of parliament, but when minister don't do better, when I can cause this respect. Another aspect with regards to politics, parliament is the citadel of politics. Always politics get played, but how then they play the politics? For me, I think that is very, very important. And you will try to communicate another points where structurally that are not down. But for these two areas, I think that's not the key thing, and the assurances of how the politics stand well. I cannot say the executive not play well the politics with the legislature, and of course, for the fact that members of parliament are the direct beneficiaries of elections, and some of these legislations are got to do with election, it's always going to be toxic and political. So politics can never be separated from parliament. What I think for me is a fundamental issue, whether the politics is in the interest of the state or rather than political parties. And I think that they need to look at the laws, because some of the laws give provision for their political party interest override the national interest, one of which is section 77 1K. And before I go the APC made a big and serious mistake by changing the law or amending the law to allow a politician to be the Speaker of Parliament. I think that is a serious blunder on their part, and now the chicken are coming home to roost. When you get a speaker who is a senior member of the SLPP, at some point, even if you want to be apolitical or neutral as the Constitution expects the speaker to be, he's going to be put under pressure by his own bench. And we don't see in countless occasions where the speaker can want for take an apolitical stand. But if you hear some of the members that say, we can't pull yourself, we go meet the party office, at some point, the bar, even the speaker, he talks in on tire and he just tire. If that he will resign at some session.
Interesting point. You mean so, this happened right in the well of Parliament?
Of course, this is right now the well of the Parliament. We are in tension can rise with the APC of crime, the executives of every crime. The speaker, of course, if you want to lean to the opposition side, then you will hear members of your own bench say, this guy, they allow them money at once. This person, I need to encourage them. This guy. So at some point, now the speaker is sway, as you rightly observe. Certain times, by right, as per law, the speaker should not debate because his ruling is final. But now what we are seeing technically is aiding and abetting the debates of the government bench. So it speaks to the problem created by the APC by allowing a politician for being speaker rather than a retired judge. So that's where the politicization of the office of the speakership comes into play. And that also can be said for the office of the clerk, which should be an apolitical office. But based on the bad precedent set by the APC in appointing an active politician in the late honorable CC, then such negative example was, well, not only SBB, but also the clerk by then in the person of Honorable CC was a former member of Parliament who served 2 terms, and he was appointed by Dr. Anas Balikuma to serve as the clerk. And that bad precedent was also followed. So the House is extremely politicized by way of offices that should be neutral are now being political and partisan.
And the thing where the last government do, that the same thing this then copy. We see the case of Parantawali, where Honorable when have been member of Parliament for the ruling party right now, by then opposition, when now at the clerk of Parliament, we see the light of Honorable the speaker, and then all of them they are now strong and active member of the ruling party. The same goes to this, the last speaker of Parliament, in SBB. That is why most of the time I can tell people that they say certain time the way it comes to some constitutional things them or some laws that they no the way and it's by Kuma in name go jump me tongue. Because instead they don't point, some things anyway that they use against them right now. In some cases, not on all cases. Then self now they make provision for that.
Of course, and I believe by the Parliament by then. Interesting, like go back to Dr. Anas Balikuma when he was a member of Parliament. So I followed some of the interaction of Parliament. Apparently, yes, you can revere him for, among other things that we do as a member of Parliament, championing the Parliamentary Service Act as a private member's motion. I think that is one of his hallmark in terms of the legislative corridor or paradigm. But in terms of bad laws, I mean, amending the speaker law, then you don't forget out for that. But generally, I think that's not the problem with the politicization of public offices, which will be apolitical and it's serious. Very, very.
We can't talk serious about whether any way they will get for appeal or challenge the decision of the speaker. But when they come to that, they quick. Let's just relax and take this break, quick one. When they come back, just now.
I just wanna get this feeling January 1, 2023, from 12 o'clock sun time to 4 o'clock afternoon time, Lantern go meet Carnival. That na inside the Afro-Caribbean Festival, we go be na Freetown for just 200 new Leon no more. And save, you go get 1 polo and 1 wristband where you go wear go the program for make the organizer them go agree for make you take part on the program. Can join the Lantern Parade from Radisson Blue Hotel and Bubble BN Ebenezer Calendar in Lantern to go reach Jigibonta Car Park with Caribbean stranger them. We get for come from all over the world. Then self they come with their own style inside the carnival. Where for take part na $80 when a 1,400 new leon. And for that, then go give you drink and snack for make you charm and chill as you the bubble they go. Come see costume, all kind colorful costume. And now so we not go left and give you jumbo stranger them. We self get costume them. Costume them like featherback costume where you can wear with your polo or be the top. You can wear yourself with short trousers, boxer or other thing them. We get the typical Caribbean featherback and headpiece. And self, if you want for add some African flavor, we get Ankara top them where you can same way so use as costume. We get face jewel when a then shine decoration where people can put na them face na them Caribbean festival. So Priscilla's hats and accessories now one-stop shop for all your costume for the Afri-Caribbean Lantern Meet Carnival. Forget your own costume, now for go na Priscilla's hats and accessories na UN Drive off Wilkinson Road or call them na 078-681-471. And for your own Afri-Caribbean Festival Lantern Meet Carnival ticket, call Eminence Africa na 030-200-555 or go na the office na 114 Pademba Road, Freetown. Not forget to forget yourself your costume for make we go show them Caribbean them. Say we self can do am. Now forgot to Priscilla's hats and accessories na UN Drive off Wilkinson Road, Freetown or call them at 078-681-4 go meet Carnival. That na inside the Afri-Caribbean Festival we go be na Freetown for just 200 new leon no more. And self you go get one polo.
Oh yes, plenty organization don't come and go, but this one come for stay because in M, not the heartbeat of God for help the poor and needy. It's the Sidra Women's Organization.
Sidra's Women Organization. They come for help with poor and Sidra's Women Organization.
The Sidra Women's Organization will be launched officially on Saturday, the 7th of January 2023. This historic event go unfold inside McKinneyton, right now the SLTU Hall. The time now 10 o'clock now morning. As the main aim of this organization now for help the poor and needy, the Sidra Women's Organization would look for extend invitation to all Soriat organizations, especially other sister women's organization for can witness this colorful ceremony. I say we McKinney fumble them. Let we not forget the date again. Now Saturday, January 7, 2023, 10 o'clock in the morning, and the place now the Great SLTU Hall, McKinney Town. This organization is sponsored by a daughter of the swell based in the United States of America, Madam Sidratu Aminata Kamara. The Sidra Women's Organization helping the poor and needy is our passion. Is our passion.
They come for do their best to the poor, east, west, south, the east, and the north. Afuma no support kare mara afuma mone. Afuma no support kare mara afuma mone.
Welcome back. This night program we are on YouTube and on Facebook, of course. We get a lot of things then we unpack for you. We can take several things then before ever we open the line for you to come inside and talk about what do you think about them particular things here. So where do they happen inside the House of Parliament? You know, basically I've been trying for us, you know, before we go for that break about the decision, you know, where the speaker don't take so now. Anyway, any one of the member of parliament can challenge them decision, the ruling of the speaker?
Well, technically yes, procedurally, because if you're going to the privileges committee, the duty now left to the members of parliament who say, well, Mr. Speaker, is open for pay this money, but you see that we well, go watch them people then they not to well them. So they might, but what is technically is, will the privileges committee recommend an upending of the speaker's ruling? That is also legally ambiguous because as per the constitution and the standing orders, the ruling of the speaker is final. But in this case, having ruled and at the same time committed the matter to the privileges committee, there is a window that yes, if those members of parliament adequately defend the case against them, then the onus will left upon the committee of privileges or make recommendation. It might alter or tamper with the ruling of the speaker. And the laws are very silent as to, in this case, if it's going to be possible. I think the
but in another case, they say if the member of parliament have been come out within 7 days and apologize, enough for being to this point.
Well, if that in the case of Peter Sontin and the talk, where defamatory or not to prima facie as per the law, but in this case, not to see where they allegedly talk, this that where they allegedly do, where the constitution not capture, where the writers of the constitution not be envisaged or foreseen. So it's constitutionally very unclear with regards to the 7 days of apologies. In this case, we can only get them when they face the privileges committee, and at the end of the day, whether they will be able to convince the privileges committee, and also whether the privileges committee will be faithful and impartial enough to say we found no case against this people, Mr. Speaker, and it's a recommendation that you should revise or review or even upend the decision, which would be quite unprecedented in parliamentary precedents.
All right, Melvin, I want we hold on quick day so for let we go back because we basically don't exhaust the piece where you write and don't look at the critical points then on this particular ruling of the speaker, except if you get something we are not member.
I just want to say I did watch the program SSF and they definitely going to look for the comments and I want to just listen to it probably a lot of what to see. And perhaps if I get the time to just respond to them. So of course, yes, I think we'll exhaust most of the points. And some of the other ones, then I will wait if they will come up from the public and see the case.
So, if that be the case, we will go straight off and waiting people get for say. Since you watch your program, I will beg that you stay off for now. Just continue for listen and then you take note. We'll come back to you just now. All right, the line open right now for you. Wait one for add the voice inside the program. But interestingly, today because of what I will say, because of I no want for touch on the setting we are already don't give. I'm not sure you were able to see yourself today. I mean, you call when it display, but you go hear everything where you talk. So let's just try and see. The line don't open now for let you call and add the voice inside the program. Let we see or hear waiting you think about the action of the speaker. Waiting at the action of the speaker, or waiting you think about the action of the speaker, and how you feel say that in your opinion that the right thing, or you feel say the speaker for don't do another thing, or you feel say the speaker take this action because of the opposition, or again for be not look into the issue proper one and take action against all the one they will put out. What do you think? The program now we have on YouTube and on Facebook, so you can call now and add your voice inside the program. We still wait for few calls. We know they say actually. We wait for few calls for them to come inside. Let me hear it from you. Waiting you think about the whole issue. I hope so we can. Yes. So the line open now for me you come inside and tell me what you think about the discussion where they go on right now. Okay, we don't get the very first caller inside the program today. Let me see what they get for we. Welcome to the show, please. Your name and inside the call from?
Washington.
Please go ahead.
We are on a good evening.
How you do, sir?
On a good evening. Fine. I want to know if they do any investigation before ever for know waiting happen and waiting lead to waiting happen before ever the speaker they go ahead and suspend the honorable here. You know, then another thing is in two fighting are two people effect. One person, not to one person effect. They say one bang loose, one bracelet. Yes, one bracelet said it cause noise. Now yes, two bracelets it cause noise. But why we see that now one green side they take discipline action against, where the video really they show even the police and safe. The need for the discipline them. Not only the honorables, even the police them. Safe, because police for no in duty. Police on their rights for go inside parliament and go do any vandalization or harassment.
I think you missed that point there.
Whether
you missed that side there. The police they under instruction and the clerk now instruct them.
No. This is the problem. This is the problem. Go and talk and say under instruction. So instruction when they give you, you not get right for tikam.
So you don't ever see possible whether the force they deny instruction.
The police asks policeman in Sujaman not to all children tell you for do you do.
You don't ever see where policeman in Sujaman they deny to them.
Use your discretion. So why make na one side and punish and not punish the other side?
Okay.
Because now two people, now two bracelets and they cause noise, not to one. So if there was fighting, then there are two people or people responsible, two sides.
All right.
So why now one side, then the punish and not punish the other side?
Thank you very much. But before you go, I'll ask you one question. Did you get me? All right. So I think in order for you waiting at the ask, a just one for say you and say, okay. Welcome to the show, please. You name and where you call from?
I come from Riyadh.
Please go ahead, sir. Welcome.
Mali, first thing, I want to say thank you to Melvin, Tejan, Mansaray. They don't do a very great job. Now, then kind thing they also they look for see. Or let somebody go there, we go get independent report. One thing we me want say, when you watch all waiting happen, not two fighting. So why the speaker will take decision when on one side they affect, then the other side them know they affect. When you watch the video them, the video they on the show say not two fighting take place. Then send flower vase, so the other hand will take the flower vase, send and so and waiting. So if the speaker they take the decision there, so I believe it will take them from both ends. And not for watching because the one there so na me party people them they save them, then other people they waiting and call them because not to the party people and they all lenting and they wrong.
And this point where you bring so, if then let's say the Faravas first come out to the APC side, it go to the SLPP side, it broke computer then they or tablet, then it come out to the SLPP side back it can, it must broke something.
Well, fine. Now this who they talk Aliu. Now I make a talk say a better way. People like Melvin, Tejan, Mansaray, and they then they give independent report. Where you watch the other people, the way they go give reports, or where they call like AYV other side for go talk. Where you watch Melvin and type they ask for C trust. They ask for C because you watch most of the one they waiting and call poor government people them and they call them panel and they for go. For letting they go begin discuss waiting and call. When you watch some of them radio station and TV station and then thing and they say and they do it wrong. Because all you that's what thing Aliu salon everybody as somebody begin talks to you don't know from Musangoli they come off from. So you go for watch and find independent people and for let them go analyze certain thing. You know we watch people like Joseph Sana and others waiting and call what they will go take for put on certain issue then they. So where you can you don't watch some of them radio station and TV station when they themselves can they make big mistake because certain people and they from day one they are not hide.
All right, thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you.
All right, we go on the line again and take another. Okay, we missed that one. The line's still open. You can call and add a voice inside the program. We go on the line again and take this other call. Welcome to the show, please. Your name and where you call from? You didn't live. Please reduce the volume of your set, please.
Mina Mohammed, I call from Riyadh.
Okay, go ahead. Did you get me clear?
Yeah, they get you, sir.
But you listen to yourself back. You know, senior man now we had. Reduce the volume.
I don't really sir.
Go ahead and make it for you.
I don't put offset.
Thank you.
Okay. God bless you and God bless Melvin, a young guy. I really admire how you articulate analyze the issues. It is show saying that you are patriotic. It is talk with in God fear in heart as a like person. Somebody not be biased. But when Sunday like this call I just talk. When that's Joseph Samuel, then one guy back then is a cut working at Kulgan and call Sayu guy. The winner is a make a vex. Now say this guy, the way they talk, you see the angle where they talk, you see this suicide now. Here except if suicide, you know they talk like was like a city was good, it be neutral. So you have a committee happen and the committee on the flavors. Okay, if you evidence they say you send. So but then say the camera they CCTV camera they make. They do selective then they play under. You see? So now two man they fight, one man cannot fight two. One man goes on the shake. So how they will go say that only yes the APC go block the maze. Because if you don't like, we should watch. If you don't like, we should go block. But they're not facts. They just go block. FCV then can now, they can pull the APC, they will say it's map. When I call the problem, we can talk serial, make the other the police them. So I will call it, so I will use the police before I see police. So that should be the count. They can't brutalize the APC. That's like APC just got on them because the APC just go to them block the means. Enough will happen. You see, then two. They want to come and they begin. Even when they pull the APC, they're like, hey. All I never see how. That's why they make goodness. When they highlight, when they push them, they brutalize, they beat them. All that bad precedents they said so. Yes, so mistaken APC we don't do like what team will be tough for our colleagues to say. Like we speak of Parliament for being retired, George, for the clerk for being retired, with 12. So them mistaken remember, but they give them freedom. All of them use APC and they get their own political people and they get freedom. You understand? So I'm not say APC they not me for my guess who begin follow some politics so we will make this government change my politics around
very much, sir.
But it ever happen. It not ever happen. This ever since that I take for them. The boy say para slap, wait itself like block and school come. All of them they do and the school be very cool with them. It allow them maybe exercise their own rights.
All right, thank you very much. God bless you.
Freedom. The injustice, no problem.
Thank you, sir.
This injustice I pull our country. Thank you.
All right. The line is still open for you. Now we go on the line and take this other caller. Welcome to the show, please. Your name and where you call from?
Yes, I'm sir.
How you say, sir?
Welcome back.
Thank you.
You know, welcome back, man. I hope you feel much better now.
Yeah, better.
Okay.
Please go.
Okay. Melvin, they still in the studio?
Yes, they listen to her. But you're not going to talk to you right now.
Just ask this question.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. I just want to make an observation because what I get to understand, we bring all this rancor in the parliament and the fact say the APC people then think say using a statutory instrument for lay the regulations them was wrong. Then get the opinion say it should have been a constitutional instrument. Where me personally, after all the explanation from lawyers, experts, and other one, them agree with them. But the question I asked Melvin, was there a way for the APC them we don't do this instead of fighting? We see so. Was there a way then for them prevent the laying of that constitution, that instruments there? Because in the midst of all of this, the post will go give the greatest blame at the Speaker of the House. So, in that light, we make us say so, because it not be take anything from him, it not be take anything from him if we just allow the acting leader of the opposition to make a statement. Nothing, for the take for him. Well, we don't get peace, not for to we see so. Right? So that make me no go surprised within judgment. Because what we see on TV, not two people in the effects. How comes now you not even give a verbal reprimand to the other side, say, hey, we're not for retaliate? Because what they see, even in sport, for retaliation, you get this equal punishment. For retaliation, for example, in football, if I play you foul, you grab, you kick me, well, they get a red card. So why not one party we see? But again, as I say, I'm not surprised. So I just want to Melvin get more knowledge on that. I can listen them anyway. I'm a fine gentleman. Okay. So I just want to
Melvin, I hope you don't take note of that particular thing there. And obviously, we'll get an answer to that there. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right. We go on the line again. I see this is starting on the struggle long time, but you don't survive. But thank God you don't carry Senna. Welcome.
I know I don't survive because I just want to tell me brother plenty thank you. But before I do that, tell me family members them. Hi Facebook, hi YouTube. I hope say on all did well. It's not that mean. Melvin, thank you so much for honoring the invitation. We just want to tell you, you're very, very smart and intelligent young man. Not stop what you do. Continue for be honest, for be very, very patriotic to your country, Sierra Leone. But we want to tell the speaker, Mr. Naked Boy, say we know say he's very, very biased. We know say you know want the peace and stability of that country, this Sierra. As for I call a Tarawali if my name, Asabi in brother, we they live next door. I know him. So I can call in name. He gets a nickname what they call a Staffy. I know him brother very, very well, and I will call him brother. I talk to her. Let make it not say if anything happen at Salon, him brother contribute to make no peace not in a Sierra Leone, because how two people then go fight, you just take one side of the story and then you keep it to yourself. You make biasness, you know, and then now you talk say cell phones they're not permitted, nothing not permitted. How can we trust your information when you don't already come outside? You don't be biased to one side of the story. We all see what happened in parliament. We all see where they shut down your system down. For me, we not get eyes, we not set eyes on them, but they forget say we are other people that they're inside the web, the video, everything come out. So then say what they do so, and I go for bonfire picking at Sierra Leone. And like you said, somebody here, I blame EBK for the actions where he left for make evidence they happen on a parliament. If you don't adjust the constitution, if you don't do something, we're not going to go through what they go through so right now. Then people are ready for intimidate anybody so far, lock people them up. But one for advice Sierra Leoneans, they made them wake up. This is not the time for be biased. This is not the time for say, oh, this is my party, black, red, and blue. This is the time for liberate Sierra Leone. We have to kick them people that are outside and bring come a new party. And if they continue to do that, or bring come a new post where they can rule with, make them kick them outside, because not of the time this smoke will begin to condone certain things that when people are there, they do so. You know, because I don't know they go anywhere. And I don't go anywhere. So please, Sierra Leoneans, come 2023, July to June 24th. SFPP must go. Madabia, especially Madabia, not even SFPP. Because other SFPP can come, then can rule with them, go do better. I'm not against anybody here, but I'm against this particular administration here. So because the things that they do is just too much for we. It's too much for we when they're outside. Because one, we were the outside, we cannot go to our country anymore. We're on exile. You know, for talk, your face is at the airport, everything. How you go do, how you go treat your people like this? How you go treat your people like this? You talk about say, oh, when the man be there, when EBK be there, EBK do worse. Now you can do 10 times. EBK is looking like a saint right now. They look at EBK and say, Nana, the perfect president of Sierra Leone. But instead of getting your dirty linens them, where he hide under the bed, where he don't do years ago. But now you just can't make I don't be a perfect man. You know, so this is not the kind of people that won't need that we country.
Right.
Yeah, I beg me. Melvin, continue the honesty, continue for do what you they do. Fight for your country, not be on no side. If APC do bad, come out and say APC do bad. If SFPP do bad, come out and say SFPP do bad. And I hope say them parliamentarians that they will suspend so indefinitely, they will take the legal actions to make them go reinstate their positions there back, because this is unfair. And now we're going to start respecting them. You know, they don't need for be called honorable again. We're going to start calling them by their names. Naked boy.
Thank you. Sorry. Hello, caller.
Hello?
Yes, please. Welcome to the show. Your name and the call from, please.
Mina Alusana, I call from United States.
Please go ahead, sir.
I tell me, brother Melvin, plenty thank you. You know, I don't follow him now. So many from them. You know, a young man with the try. Just like as how other callers then they say. I mean, let just continue in good work. Let not look to money. Let not look to any kind of thing. Because if you see they look to money, it destroy himself. We in the future waiting for realize, you know, we will get them. Like how so many journalists in that country, they don't get respect again. Some of we will listen them, will not get one respect for them. You see.
So but now the problem now. If the journalist wants respect, then the next thing will be a problem, na target. Because if you don't think that I respect you to get, then you don't be at the center of attraction, and then the other one where you try for bring things them out against, will see you as one kind of bad person.
My brother, you write what you see, but this now the ultimate challenge we every Sierra Leonean for ready for take. You know, for stand for the truth, not to anything way funny. But as long as you stand for the truth, you expect targets from the people and we you try for say things, then we are the right thing. So if you're ready for take as long as the right you say, my brother, if na get for cost you whatever, just be you go through that one day. At the end of the tunnel, you go realize something. But when you go halfway on something, it's like you better be don't sacrifice. But stood your ground as long as you get the full conviction, say what I'm doing is correct. And I know they do them for anything now for the love of my country. My brother, just stick to that thing there. You go realize the benefit at the end of the day.
Right.
You see, just like waiting touch one area when we say the past president, I blame him. You see, the constitution of any country, if you see a faulty, that country they get serious problem. You know, see any need where they go take a speakership for it to any parliament, I call and say partisan thing. Let it be somebody will be to say get the law. Get that kind of background. We go able to stand at the middle, say, hey, because politicians, they always all want the fight for waiting advantage, regardless to the benefit of the country. But if you get that center man, we go able to team up, say, no, this is waiting on the say, so waiting on not good for the country. This not so we can go. But unless fail in that direction, now in the lead for where we can get a speaker, where you not even get a moral standing for this speaker, where you go to serious country. Abbas do not get the moral, it takes sides.
Thank you. Well, if you listen to what Melvin say, you understand why then things they need to happen. Thank you. God bless you.
No, thank you.
All right, we'll take 5 more calls and then we go back to Melvin for we wrap up. Please make sure you call just on WhatsApp. We just want for you call WhatsApp call. Nothing more than that. Just WhatsApp call. Now WhatsApp call no more ones, please. Please, WhatsApp call no more. So WhatsApp call, please. The line's still open. Yes, let me go. WhatsApp call. Welcome to the show, please. Your name and where you call from?
Good. How are you, sir, brah? I call from the yard.
Yes, so welcome, sir. How the yard?
I will say you do well, sir.
By God in power, they try.
First of all, I really now for una more for appreciate you now. I'm telling una plenty thanks,
Okay, we thank God for that.
Una make me body rise today. One pound una go do good plus people who already follow una. May God continue for bless una. And may God make nothing evil una,
Amen.
I go to we speaker of Sierra Leone because I know get for balance. One day that man all we don't know say na a lost track man. So what you expect for level do another country? A man we go sit down, people they travel for Canada, then decide they are see one ordinary country. Sell salon passport there. So if they can't put them guy and then that side the way we see initial policy for the O2 they expect that they can't they forget for expect. We all see what happen. But God will hold the responsible and you go say to them to their own grand picking them. And that prayer they no more will get. Else then they judge their own judgment, we not for the country, for their own thing them. God will hold the responsible one day. Now not the day. Or tomorrow, now they get for see other people at the back. And that no more we get for this debt, yeah? Thanks very much. And God bless you now.
Thank you, God bless you too. Take 4 more calls. 4 more calls. You want once we're done with the calls, then we go back to Melvin for let me wrap up the program for this night. Please try for call on the normal call. Nope. Try for call on WhatsApp, please. Call on WhatsApp, please. WhatsApp only, please. In 5 minutes, if we don't get the few calls we want, then we go back to Melvin for let me wrap up with the program. Okay, in 5 counts. 5, 4, 3, 2, Melvin, stand by. Stand by, Melvin. Stand by. We're coming for you. Stand by. We'll come for you back, Melvin. Let us see. Yeah. Okay, let me see. We'll go back for Melvin. Okay, welcome back to the program. This now we are on YouTube and on Facebook. We don't go back to a guest where we get inside the program today. We now Melvin. Yeah, so we don't tell people for actually call for let they actually make we done with everything we do. But now we see a lot of calls them they can inside. Please no call. I will advise you not for call. Because if you call the easy one, nobody project you in a call because your number will show. Please not call because your number will show. I beg do ya. I don't want anybody in number for show. Not call at this particular point because your number will show. If you watch, please take notes. Not call again because your number will show. Let's decline this caller. And please not call because your number will show. I repeat, please not call. Your number will show. Wow. No easy. Let's see. I'll decline this again. I hope say this particular person get the juice. Not call again, please. I want to send Melvin at the screen. And at the line where you call Melvin Day. Please not call the line where you call now the Melvin Day. The time I been giving when I not inside. I want project Melvin, but if I project Melvin, your number will show. So please not call again. Thank you for the understanding. Thank you for the understanding. And the project Melvin. Once I project Melvin, if you call, please, I'm not going for protect your number. So I go. Oh. Okay. I think let's just see what we can do. Okay. Melvin, look me. Turn your camera so you can cancel small. I trim that the one side with it. Yes, so I will trim the one side with the call the guy inside. I able for locks the number there.
You okay?
I think so. I don't know until I see call guy inside, then I'll be able for know. But for now, I think so. So if that be the case, welcome back. You be take note of things the way they happen, right? Where they be the same. Do I get for those parliaments?
Of course.
Okay, so go ahead and respond to them.
Well, with regards to, there was this question around waiting happened. I think that'll be the first question that what's actually happened. What's actually happened, I collapse in dialogue. And the government, through the Attorney General and Minister of Justice, they can able to implement them. We get for doing proportional representation for local council in this new law. And apparently, the opposition APC say the agreement that will be the next day when I told the paper that will come. But however, the government rushed there. During the process of the debate, there was also disagreement whether they should be called statutory instruments or constitutional instruments. And if you look at section 171, you will clearly get the definition of the two. There's a difference between the statutory instrument and the constitutional instrument. One get for do with the amendment of acts, another one get for do with the amendment of provisions of the Constitution. The opposition will argue that the title of the document should not be a statutory but a constitutional instrument because it is seek for introduce or amend something where they inside the Constitution. And in this case, the Constitution talk about proportional representation, but it not clearly spell out whether it can work for that of local councils when I in the government did the guidelines. So at this point, when the main opposition, one of the members that grab and say it's not done, and therefore the panel from the league. And in that process, attempt to go grab the mace, who we see cause the first. And why they go for the mace? Well, for me, I think that was a politically incorrect action from the main opposition, APC MPs, for the fact that going to grab the mace is not part of the process. The process should not be they allow the Attorney General to make paper and later move a motion that the paper be debated. But there is a catch.
Something like that, the speaker may say. Because I remember when the leader of government business make a point, and then the chief whip, the opposition whip, self make a point, the speaker will come inside and say, all of them points are not valid because they not even laid it in yet. So they not be even get right for even make the point the way they don't make.
So that's where the APC make a serious blunder, and it was a deliberate mistake. What is deliberate? The APC bench no say if that paper was laid, even if they raise a motion for a debate, there will be debate. By the end of the day, nobody get the required amount of 98 votes when are 2/3 for reject the document. So in other words, then say, well, no, just create a show, but let people attract public sympathy where indeed they succeed for you, but they don't ever follow the process. And again, along the line, none of the parties they get the 2/3 majority, and therefore, if there be a move in futility from the APC, if they probably go into a vote, because none the APC, nor the SLPP get the required amount of votes, and I don't see them get that urge or appetite for lobby across the aisle.
So in the case of Usai, none of them not get the required vote for getting 2/3 for a particular document. What will happen?
After 21 days, as this document law now, it becomes law. Because if you want to reject it, there are only two options given with papers, amendments, legislations. It's either Parliament accept or reject. And in this case, if you want to reject those papers, you need to get 2/3 of the votes of members of Parliament. None of them not get so wait them to do them just create a show or attract apathy or sympathy as the case may be.
All right, you take note of other things. One other thing we very key because I so much concerned about that as well. Now somebody call and say the police not be get any right for going at the well of Parliament and do how they do so to member of Parliament them by law. Tell me something.
By law, in normal circumstances, they have no right. But again, by law, where there is chaos, where lives and properties are under threat, I think it was just appropriate for let them be. However, the question back, the way we invite them, you get the authority? I don't think so. The clerk not get that power, and the speaker no more get the power to ask strangers that for come inside or go to Parliament. And
but if you listen to the clerk, he say in consultation with the speaker.
Well, until the speaker they don't take out for what meeting it be. But definitely those orders should come directly from the speaker.
So in the case of because they say silence is consent, the speaker not say anything. Even when the clerk they talk, all land they say, I don't talk with the speaker authorized me for do this and this and this.
Indeed. And that is the thing. Again, they go back to the issue of politicization. The clerk now a member of the government, the governing SLPP, the speaker now a member.
Yeah.
So we are they don't need for student ND, they just need to get one call from party office. Then they are working in tandem. So moving forward, I think we need to review some of those aspects. But back on the issue of the police, I think here in Sierra Leone, the police, they are almost like a tool of puppets by the politicians. We're very, very scary. The independence of the police are seriously been undermined by the very politicians themselves. So what we don't see over time, although it was in this era, that small sympathy between MPs then they call in the police. And there is this worrying and worrisome threat, which is the arrest and detention of MPs. As it stands, you get a long list of opposition MPs there where they don't arrest or detain, or even some they don't remand. And that is very, very unfortunate because we get global parameters and ranking, and you get IPU benchmarks when you talk about protection and safety of MPs. Should the police intervene? I think that thing will be always a question where we will do large because we don't see object and not the fly. Somebody will ask if die for being commodity, would that be taking responsibility? But again, it speaks to the fact I've been to other places. For example, in South Africa, there is a Department of Parliamentary Security. It's different from the office of the Sergeant at Arms. And here in Sierra Leone, the sergeant at arms, if you look at the standing orders, I think it's standing order 13 or 15, it's mentioned an individual. But under this administration, the sergeant at arms office has turned into a whole directorate with a director. Is it in compliance with the spirit of the standing orders or the constitution? I don't think so. But apparently,
so don't make it clear. The sergeant at arms, now the one making all the mace.
In your duty, now for carry the mace inside the well and pull on a door and for taking any instruction from the speaker.
But in the case of this administration, because that's what we don't see, they always happen. Yeah, now just one individual. We're very clear. Yeah. They make provision for that one. But in this administration, we don't see the sergeant at arms don't get a whole division or whole department where they command officers there, right?
Of course. And a list of members, the Boku small. So that is the issue. How professional we are there. I think that privileges committee need for some of even their sergeant at arms. If we watch that video, and they sincerely and frankly, some of them actually, you see them slap MPs. Some of them they exchange bad calls with the MPs. Was that done? I don't think so. So where they are not addressed in the reports or the ruling, I think it cannot be wholesome.
So the thing we need to try for talk about, in as much as by law it's not supposed to be, but in as much as again the clerk will instruct them not get the power, but at the same time na leader na parliament.
The clerk is not a leader in parliament. He is only the head of the administration. He's a principal assistant to the speaker. And by law, the office of the clerk is a public office, meaning persons being appointed to that position should be coming from the HRMO or the Public Service Commission. But now we are seeing these are persons coming from political parties list. So the clerk is, well, an assistant to the leadership and speakership of parliament. He should be subjected to instructions, but now he is giving instructions. He is also a scary precedent for the coming parliament. I think the office of the clerk must be curtailed. Yes, it's in charge of the administration. Yes, there is a parliamentary service commission where in are the secretary and in are the head of the administration running day-to-day business. But when it comes to the fusion of the political and the administrative wing, the clerk is a mere servant to the politicians in parliament.
So now look at the difference between this clerk and the leader of government business. Because we don't see on different occasions, we see the clerk they as well speak the voice of the leader of government business.
Because they all come up of the same SFP party. The clerk that be one time member of parliament at the last parliament, the fourth parliament. The leader of government business was one time a member of I think the third parliament. He lost his symbol and never returned in the fourth parliament, and he surfaced in the fifth parliament. So your question there is the difference between the two. By right, one for me, a public servant will not believe in party business, and the leader of government business will be active politician. But yeah, we know we draw the line. Both of them, in this case, are actively involved in partisan politics, which is not good for the administration and well-being of the parliament as a whole.
What do you foresee for the next parliament?
I don't know you have made around what will the next parliament look like. But I think it's too early to say since we get say April. But I'm sure if some of those things the way they happen, so they're not addressed, we not address them carefully and faithfully, sincerely and frankly and apolitically and impartially. We'll see a culture of impunity. We will see a culture of retaliation. We will see a culture of tit for tat. We will see a great eroding in public trust in parliament. And the end game, which we will see most of the current MPs not coming back to the next parliament as a result of attrition and public mistrust. So there are a lot of consequences and implications to it. And I'm sure the political class can look at this thing and say they're not going to take the electorate for granted. Looking at the fact, over 70% of the last parliament never returned. And now we are talking about this E-block system if the Supreme Court so willing to approve. If there is going to be a proportional representation, I'm afraid we'll see a huge exodus of members of parliament from the 5th Parliament, we're not going to return to the 6th Parliament. So it can be promising if we learn the lessons well from the old Parliament and ready for dialogue and negotiate. But if not, I'm afraid the 5th Parliament might be terrible than what we are having now. The lessons of this Parliament are not well documented and learned.
So now we come back to the issue where we will discuss. Now we've been seeing 3 members of Parliament then been there on their own. But before we go to the 3, the one where they be arrested, the newest member of Parliament, you know, they don't listen based on the statement of the Speaker or the ruling of the Speaker.
I forget over to the acting leader of the opposition. And the last time I talked to him, still tell me see the day behind but that was 2 days ago. And from the smiling faces what I see from the opposition now, it's like they don't go arrange things there inside house and they don't come. So it's our expectation that yes, it should have been released. Although again, the Speaker ruling not capture in arrest and detention, which in my view also can be an oversight, deliberately or otherwise. But it's, I think say it warrants some highlights, yes.
So this means that the one that will be there on the run go stop for run and return back to the Parliament. Well, they really don't say they're on suspension.
They're on suspension, but at least they're not going to hiding again at the constituencies or elsewhere.
Because I see some funny posts and say that they Guinea retire for going to other country and all of them thought.
I don't think that is true. I know say some of them did, but then they hiding. Few of them I don't need time for reach out to and don't need time for reach out to me. But most of them at my request for interviews not being granted yet. The APC seem for come out publicly on this seat. I don't know if it's because the leader not in town. But yes, this is the biggest takeaway from the ruling, that their freedom is being restored so far.
But just that they don't remove some of the immunities.
Yes, and when there is if that is passed, that ruling did not reversed, or the privileges committee not come up with another ruling, their seats are also at risk.
All right, I get one last question where they don't talk about them, but I go on for a record one day. But let's go quick one on Facebook. Let's just see what's happen there. No, YouTube get 400 people them where they watch right now with only 153 likes. Please, you where they watch right now and not like the program yet, please hit the like button and make sure say you share the program. And then on Facebook, let's just watch quick one. How many people? We get 177 where they watch right now. And now Facebook, I wonder if I can for see this thing. Okay. 177, and then we get 141 reactions, 25 comments, and 19 shares. Thank you very much. Please continue for like, share, and let your comment down in the comment section. So the question I want to ask you now with regards this, Supreme Court case for the Electoral, Commission and the caretaker. Basically, we see Joseph Fitzgerald Kamara, when our first-term Attorney General and Minister of Justice. We see one of the author of the 1991 Constitution, Abdullahi Okonte. They all learned Tim Abtanga and said that this case go to court for go see what did the Supreme Court get for say with this. I would like for you to tell me about the risk again behind this particular case. The good and bad part of it.
The good parts are that if they say ECSL and caretaker right, we'll have an election. The bad part, if the Supreme Court say they are wrong with applying 38A among other things, then we will not hold elections because time will not be permissive at all. So these are the two major merits and demerits.
So what do you mean if before say time, if they lost, time not within favor for all election in June?
Of course, because we are for see new legislations reverting back to the constituency system. As you remember, there is already a legislation before Parliament for this block system and pronouncement. So that it will be a whole reversal. And I don't think the process will be 3 months itself not going to be enough for all those processes. And mind you, NEC don't make an argument that there is not enough time for boundaries delimitation. So imagine the court saying that they are wrong. There will be a need for them to go conduct boundaries delimitation so that constituencies will, again, I want to say, a part of my opinion that yes, NEC might be partly right in saying the actual populations in constituencies might not be reflective of the population quota, when there is a strong portion of the argument. So what would be their own counter argument? And these are some of the things that will be done the same. How tenable they will be before a competent court as that of the Supreme Court. And of course, don't forget, persons like lawyer Abdullahi Okonte, some of whom are book will be read about only for where he can intervene in the case of Alfred Paulo Conte, then we know say this guy is a living legal genius. So bringing Abdullahi Okonte, former Chief Justice of Belize and one of the authors of the 1991 Constitution, bringing one of the former ACC commissioner in Chirad, who also does serve as Attorney General and Minister of Justice. These are high-profile lawyers. We could all look at, they would all weigh the pros and the cons of bringing this prayer before the Supreme Court. But there is also an unanswered question: when will this case be assigned? When will judges be empaneled to this case, if they are going to be empaneled? Will the Supreme Court sit on this case with speed? Again, will the Supreme Court be divorced from politics, where I'm afraid cannot be the case? Because even in America, I just been watching CNN the other day with Farid and the Supreme Court in the United States. Politics, for the fact that the Supreme Court judges are appointed by presidents, you can never separate politics from this court. But apparently, which will not be seen as salonate, whether we have conservative judges, liberal judges, and radical judges. We don't know how we can classify our judges as at this time. I only know of one radical judge in the person of Judge Elian Fisher. Outside of that, knowing about the ideologies or the ideals of some of these judges is very, very cryptic. That's for understand. So it's an uncharted waters for the opposition, and whether the government will get a win, we expectedly might be the case, because this is Africa. For the government lost case, that Supreme Court will not be easy, except for South Africa and let's say Kenya. It will be a landmark ruling. It will be a landmark ruling in several ways because of the consequences on the holding of the next generation.
You get a question about whether the Supreme Court will look into this thing speedily. But we see, Usai, like for example, the international community may not advise like the judiciary for let them look into all political issues then very fast, formit up the election. You think say they go come in again and ask them or beg them or waiting at this thing, mediate or just try for fair ways and means how they will look into them things there, or you feel say the court go on for say no, we are independent, we stand by waiting, how we want for work into the case there.
I think say the Chief Justice will understand the implications of this case. It's the biggest case so far with regards to the electioneering process. Delaying it will have serious repercussions on the elections. So international partners, of course, will be behind the scenes, diplomats will be behind the scenes for urge them. But I think the biggest urge for come up from the people of Sierra Leone, the biggest urge for come up from the government, the biggest urge for come up from the opposition, and we all from the courts understand that this is a case where for be unlikely to the many other cases where they suffer a lot of delay. Now we cut them as a
All right, thank you very much, Melvin. Except if I miss something out, but if not, I go for if you get anything where you just they watch and you can come up with them because we don't come to the end of the program.
Oh yeah, this is something we have in mind from yesterday. That is the issue of the diaspora. I think say we found more than the diaspora, they say for the follow. I remember I talk say let them not forget me. I can't for just amplify the fact that this government in the manifesto will promise say they will allow diaspora as they will come and contest positions like members of the parliament. And as it stands, we are not seeing no headway with that. So for them, they self get an issue in the election because there was a promise. I mean, for understand, say even the APC also promised that, although that they resurrect the elephant in the room, when are the infamous Tusim law, and definitely it's a divisive issue as to whether diasporans or dual citizenship holders will be eligible for serve as members of parliament. That is a food for thought for them, for think and for get a position and for the pressure the embassies they're out there. And the diplomats and sometimes the bar or winner the caretaker, one of the most flying caretakers for the approach among some of these issues because elections are coming. And we know the role played by the diaspora, and some of we believe say they can contribute and they must contribute. And we are really promised them to to have a role or a place on the table, particularly with elected positions and that of MPs. I think therefore only governments to the world in terms of allowing diaspora not only being eligible for contest for MP, but also other countries are talking about diaspora voting, and Salon is not part of the conversation. We are in an electionary circle. Some of these things.
So let me ask you this funny question. It's funny but serious. If we're not able to manage election proper one for the one that we're inside the country, how then go manage people that we oversee? Not only give boss power so.
Well, based on the situational analysis, of course, but as
alright, I think the internet don't grip on the first. The internet don't grip on it.
It's a matter of
alright, yeah.
Not to all Sierra Leonean abroad don't give up their citizenship or nationality. So I think the diaspora community deserve that right today, and looking at their support.
They get it right. You know, that is cool. They get it right. But the question is, look for example, now person they go register. In namesake for Lake Camp, they go tell you say they don't get provision for that day. In face for Lake Camp, they don't get provision. So if the government now, let us not say this government or any other government, they in charge of diaspora, you know, if you say that they all the votes will come up.
Then you ask the question, with now diaspora population, the census capture our diaspora population. I mean, does NEC get the capacity, in fact, for the diaspora registration? So all of these are capacity, but these are the contemporary issues. We're not always thinking of waiting the politician in the Kiwi or waiting institutions in the Kiwi, but think outside the box. These are real issues we'll for look at, because you are this disenfranchised population. The last government we get the office of the diaspora affairs. I don't know what this government has been doing. We're waiting to do with regards to that. We need a database on the diaspora.
So I think this government waiting they get, because I just they understand they don't get office of diaspora affairs, but then they work with people them overseas. They try to identify whether as Sierra Leonean, you know, give them citizenship, give them passport and other things. And so this government, now that thing basically they do.
It's Avasad, it's Apne, it's a makeshift. We need an institution catering for the diaspora community. And I don't think that can be called, I don't think so we'll call that a waste of taxpayers' money. Because you need to coordinate the diaspora, and from what I see the current government they do, it's just piecemeal interventions. Yes, they don't come with the Budapest rally, which is very good for tourism and diaspora relation. Yes, they are identifying Sierra Leoneans with cases to Sierra Leone. We've seen people coming and going. We've seen the president conferring citizenship to people from the diaspora. We don't help, but that is not enough. We should be institutionalizing this aspect of diaspora, because some of us believe that the diaspora gets a lot for contribute, even if it's not politically. I mean, the best brains are there, and most of we who will ground up or come back, they are not funny. They are not funny at all.
All right, thank you very much, Melvin, for joining me inside the program this night. I think we're not going to regret them at all for the getting at this platform, for letting you give your own views as to waiting the apple in Parliament. You get for the TV, and by the way, I appreciate that. Just one call for joining me this night. You don't hesitate at all. You join me. Thank you very much. I appreciate that so much. We're going to knock like you know what and reach your phone line starting from tomorrow, because we get all that discussion there for put on personal discussion there. Thank you very much, Melvin.
I'm glad for joining me at family, and thanks so much for the energetic listeners and viewers and followers all across the world. This is impressive, and we need a platform there also for send the true message about Sierra Leone. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless you. Get yourself a wonderful night.
You too.
All right, in name na Melvin Tejan Mansaray will join me inside the program this night. For now, we talk about different things them where don't happen in Parliament, especially for the suspension of Honorable AKK, Honorable Arun, and different another one that way they actually don't suspend. Anyway, my name is Sembe, the freedom fighter. Until we get to meet again, it's another beautiful edition of the program. We are. And maybe I'm on in with the program where we call yes. See you again. God bless we country Sierra Leone, where we call we are. Sembe Pierre, the freedom fighter. God bless you all.
Oh yes, plenty organization don't come and go, but this one come for stay because in M, not the heartbeat of God for help the poor and needy. It's the Sidra Women's Organization.
Sidra's Women Organization. They come for help with the poor and them. Sidra's Women Organization.
The Sidra Women's Organization will be launched officially on Saturday, the 7th of January 2023. This historic event go on for inside McKinneyton, right now the SLTU Hall. The time now 10 o'clock now morning. As the main aim of this organization now for help the poor and needy, the Sidra Women's Organization would look for extend invitation to all Soriat organizations, especially other sister women's organization for can witness this colorful ceremony. I say we McKinney fumble them. Let we not forget the date again. Now Saturday, January 7, 2023, 10 o'clock in the morning, and the place now the Great SLTU Hall, McKinney Town. This organization is sponsored by a daughter of the swell based in the United States of America, Madam Sidratu Aminata Kamara. The Sidra Women's Organization helping the poor and needy is our passion. Is our passion.
They come for do their best to the poor, east, west, south, the east, and the north. Afuma me no supported, kare mara afuma money. Afuma me no supported, kare mara afuma money. Anye atike, ali. Okay.
I just wanna get this feeling only.
January 1, 2023, from 12 o'clock Santem to 4 o'clock afternoon time, Lantern go meet Carnival. That na inside the Afro-Caribbean Festival, we go be na Freetown for just 200 new Leon no more. And save, you go get one polo and one wristband where you go well go the program for make the organizer them go agree for make you take part in the program. Can join the Lantern Parade from Radisson Blue Hotel and Bubble BN Ebenezer Calendar in Lantern to go reach Jigibonta Car Park with Caribbean stranger them. We get for come from all over the world. Then self they come with Dion style inside the carnival. Where for take part na $80 when a 1,400 new Leon. And for that, then go give you drink and snack for make you charm and chill as you the bubble they go. Come see costume, all kind colorful costume. And now so we no go left and give you jumbo stranger them. We self get costume them. Costume them like featherback costume where you can wear with your polo or be the top. You can wear and self with short trousers, boxer or other thing them. We get the typical Caribbean featherback and headpiece. And save, if you want for add some African flavor, we get Ankara top them where you can same way so use as costume. We get face jewel when then shine decoration where people can put that in face na then Caribbean festival. So Priscilla's hat and accessories now one stop shop for all your costume for the Afro-Caribbean Lantern Meet Carnival. Forget your own costume now for go na Priscilla's hat and accessories na UN Drive off Wilkinson Road or call them na 078-681-471. And for your own Afro-Caribbean Festival Lantern Meet Carnival ticket, call Eminence Africa na 030-200-555 or go na the office na 114 Pademba Road, Freetown. Not forget yourself your costume for make we go show them Caribbean them say we self can do am. Now forget to Priscilla's hats and accessories na UN Drive off Wilkinson Road, Freetown or call them at 078-681-471.